Mazramush Hadahuk Inc. Local commercial because we're doing well because we're having a wonderful day on this glorious 7th October 2025. Yes. 7th October 2025 because we're doing well because we're having a wonderful, fantastic, outlandish 7th of October. It is a glorious day to be alive, and my God, we are alive. I'm in a great mood today because we had a bad day. We just spent an half an hour ranting. So holy fuck, am I feeling free? Let me make sure that we're charging. We're gonna make sure how much battery do we have? 58%. Yeah, it's raining today. It's not that great. Today we're doing Berserk. However, Berserk is complex right now because Berserk, it does feel like the chapters are shorter. So I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks. I don't know what is going on. But here it is. ¿Dónde está mi amigo? There you go. Perfect. Cha. We had a pretty shitty day, to be honest, but hey, it is what it is, huh? It is what it is. Today we have two recaps today. We have Ed Gibbs and we have the wonderful Wunderbar Berserk. Now here's a really cool thing. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. This is such a cool idea. So you see here we have the chapter we started. So it's always a question of where did I start, because today, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know how much I read because I read it. It was so good. We read for 30 minutes. Oh, I think I got a text. Okay. So didn't take the time to take some news because again, why would I do that? We having the intro to Nosferatu Zod, which is kind of super cool. Now this is gonna be important later on, right? So the first thing that you have is the Crimson, the Behalef, the Eggs of King, right? And we have a repeat of it. Of what it means, what it is. And this is weird because in this one, if it wasn't for the sword, right, I would think this is Casca. So possibly just me being crazy. So repeating why it is important is super important. Now, there's a scene, and this could be seen in three fashion, right? The first thing that we have here is this, and this is something that I really enjoy. In this one, we're trying to create the second coming of Griffith. So in the first one, he is a normal leader of the Band of Ock, and the second coming, well, now he's a second leader with a lot of ambition, right? He is putting his planet in motion. So you see here, that is the Bailiff, right, and the lightning. Now, for some reason, it made me feel like Frodo. So the Bailiff, and maybe he's praying to the Behalef, right? So, which is insane because it's never mentioned if it's never mentioned if Griffith believed in a god. It's not mentioned if gods believe in a god. There's demon and there's gods, but there's no mention. So by him grasping this, is he worshipping the egg? And this is important later on because we're gonna see Zod. So we're talking about how, and this is super important. They're talking about how there's only one soldier, right? And it's Zod. Now, again, it's the men of the Ock which are outnumbering Zod, but it's Zod, which is super cool because we got a character which is Judo. It's talking about who is Zod. So Zod is supposed to be this guy who is immortal, who is a demon. He killed countless people. He never got hit. And it's insane because he is immortal. So this is super good. There's been tale about him for more than 100 years. So Griffith's like, okay, well, this is a big battle, but if we do it, and this is kind of good, right? So this is insane because, and this is one of my favorite part of the chapter itself, is that we know that it's too late now, because it was Guts' group, the Ock Raider, that went in, and the reason why they're asking questions is because the raid was supposed to be done already. It was really supposed to be done, and it's kind of insane because he came in and he's like, hey, why is Guts not there? And this is kind of cool because this is what, and this one we'll talk about what I was talking about. Griffith will go in to save Guts, and he wouldn't do that for anybody else. So this is kind of exceptional. So yeah, so because Griffith is there, not that Griffith is there, Griffith loses half of his men. But this is kind of cool because Griffith has been told like, yo, and this is so such a good chapter because in previous chapter, Guts had been told, hey, do not go in alone. You have a squad, use the squad. Always make sure that you use the squad. And Guts will go alone and disobey Griffith and Casca, but at the same time, the only reason why Guts is doing it is because he sent people in, and there was countless of deaths. They don't tell how many deaths there was, but there's close to half of the garrison of his garrison that are dead. So Guts is like, yo, I'll go alone, and people are shopping in, right? And he said, hey, don't go there. You have your friends. Please use us, right? And Guts is terrified because it's like it's one man. What do you mean he's too strong, right? So then he goes, and this is super nice. Look at this scene. Look at how gory this scene is. You have a soldier of Guts that comes out, and he's half destroyed. He's completely half mangled. And you're like, okay, well, what the heck happened to you? And he's like, okay, well, it's Zod. It's confirming Zod. And this is cool because they're thinking it's Zod, right? And we hear the rumor, and now it's confirmed. Why is this super cool? Because you have such a powerful narrative tool here. In the first portion of the video, you're talking about how, hey, there's this guy, it might be Zod, right? Here's what we know about him, here's the legend about him. And the second one, we confirm that it's Zod. So it's two different group of people talking about the same thing. We know who it is, and then we confirm who it is. That's super good. However, Guts goes in. Now, ultimately speaking, this is kind of complex. This could be like a feeling of Guts saying like, hey, no man's gonna stop me. Or this could be Guts not knowing who Zod is. I'll say that it's a bit of both. So I think that what happened here is, you might have heard of Zod, but it just called the rumor. I didn't care, right? But at the same time, which is crazy, is because Guts saw Griffith, and Griffith, if somebody is supposed to convince you that there's higher being on the planet, it's possibly Griffith, right? So then you see, and this is gruesome. You see, this is all these men that are killed, right? Now some of them are possibly not his men, but still. And so then you see Zod, and this is how Zod presents himself. So this is super cool. So Guts goes in charging, no talking with Zod, and this is pretty cool. So Zod defend himself, and this is kind of cool because Zod likes Griffith. He likes Guts a lot because he said none of these guys were challenged, but you might be a challenge. And just like Guts, he does like to fight, right? Again, already finished this chapter, so they're definitely shorter. Why Zod is one of my favorite guy. Zod is one of my favorite guy because there's two characters that I actually really like, which is the School Knight, which you're gonna meet later on, and it's the Zod. So Zod, why is important is because Zod is how do I say this? Zod is gonna be we don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy, right? He's one of the immortals, one of the higher being, and because he's one of the higher being, you're like, okay, well, he's important in the story. Now, ultimately speaking, this will be something that's kind of crazy for Griffith, because Zod is the only person that he ever met that was a proof that there's more life than just mortal being. And if Griffith wants to ascend to godhood or something akin to godhood, Zod is the way, right? So Guts fights, right? And the first thing he said you parried that strike well, boy. So it's super cool. So they're fighting, and again, Guts is near match with him. Now, ultimately speaking, Zod will win the match, right? Ultimately speaking, Zod will win the match. But it's been a while since somebody has played with Zod as much as he does. So Guts is revealed as a soldier here, which is kind of insane. And Griffith is like, okay, well, this is like, for example, Zod, he fights with Guts, and he said superb. Griffith is like, okay, well, Guts is like, okay, well, lucky I had this sword, because if it wasn't for that sword, I would get killed. I would have been killed already. So I'm lucky that I'm still alive. What is up with that guy? Oh, by the way, shit. Fuck, I fucked up. No, shit. Cell bonus, coin bonus. Okay, we're still good. Nice, okay. Good. So I do like in Zod. Zod, I don't know if he's a good guy. Reveal later on or not, because I only saw it here. Oh, that's not a good idea. We have the wire cross and a tripod. And that phone fell, it breaks. He's stronger than anyone I ever crossed a sword with. Just at how good Griffith was with that guy. So this is him saying that he's stronger than Griffith. And ultimately speaking, this is also really weird because Griffith gets him. He saw Guts, and his first Zod is just spectacular. He saw Guts. Griffith saw Guts. Is like, okay, well, I want him on my army. He saw Zod, and the first thing he should say is, I want him on my army, but he doesn't say anything. Right? So that's kind of super cool. So Griffith is like, Guts, I'm so sorry. I keep on making a mistake. Guts is like, okay, well, I don't have a single chance with that guy. The only thing that I have is a one for all strike. So I'll put all my strength in this fight, and if it's super risky, but if it works, I can win. And if it doesn't work, I'm fucked. Right? So it goes in, and this is super nice because Zod is like, okay, well, I know exactly what you're doing. You are trying to, you're gambling with your life, and I respect that. So at the end, it does work. Not only does Guts break his sword, but he slash him, and this is insane because Zod is like, okay, well, if I don't have a weapon, I might not have to use my demon form on you, and he revealed to himself to be a demon, which is again, this is super important because the implication of it are really, really big. The implication of it are, we saw Black Swordsman, so we saw that demons were something that happened or appear kind of often, but with this one, it's not the case. It's not the case. It is a guy who is super strong, and he is a demon that was there before the eclipse. So he was there since 300 years. We don't know how he got there. We don't know how Zod escaped. So this is super cool. His army goes in, and Guts is in a big problem. Griffith comes in, and what he does is he shoots like bolts. He asks his army to shoot bolts. So this is super nice because once he's like that, this is one of the first time where Guts is vulnerable. So Griffith comes in. They take some time because he has a bow, and the Zod he's pushing Guts around, and he's like, yo, you're fucking weak, what happened? Now what really happened, in my opinion, is Guts gave up. He's like, I cannot win this. So what you have to understand is this is Guts pre-eclipse. So you're gonna get the eclipse, then you're gonna have the birth of the Black Swordsman. And this one, Guts is not a creature led by rage and anger. He is just a normal human being with a very good fighter, but he's just a normal human being. So he sees this and he's abandoning. But Griffith comes in and he has bow and arrow. And this is super cool because the first thing that he does, he saw a fucking demon in front of him. Like, no, I have to protect Guts. But it doesn't work. So Zod, did we kill him? This must be. This is super cool because Zod gets pissed off. He's not gonna get pissed off because they took him a coward. They said, hey, this is between me and Guts. So this is my fight between me and Guts. He kills countless of the Men of Orc, but again, they're red caps, so we don't care who they are, right? Casca is bad. But this is super nice. Griffith goes in and he's like, okay, well, we can't win this. Casca, have everyone withdraw. So basically kind of giving up. But he's gonna stay and protect Guts. So it's Griffith and Guts. And this is, in the whole manga, this is the whole manga, this is the only time that these two will fight together, right? So Guts is like, yo, you're fucking stupid, Griffith. Why did you stay here? We're gonna win this. We cannot win this. There's no way. But finish up the chapter. Now, it turns out that this is not true because Griffith does manage to hurt Zod, and he literally cut his arm. And this is insane because Guts never achieved that. Now, here's the difference. Here is the big difference. Griffith wasn't afraid of Zod, and Guts was. So it's always okay. So it's complex, right? It's really complex because ultimately speaking, Guts is a human. Griffith is a human. So it's always a question of who's stronger. And it's always been Griffith, right? And then what happened is the eclipse happened, Griffith become a god. And because Griffith becomes a god, then he becomes the strongest. So the only way they were both human is before in the Golden Age. So that the question is, who is stronger here? Now, in this case, it's Griffith, but it's not Griffith at the same time. It is Griffith if you think about Guts abandoning, but if Guts didn't abandon, who would be stronger? Possibly Guts. I don't know. I want Guts to win because I love Guts, right? So he throws Griffith, and he's almost dead. But then what happened is this is super cool. This is really, really fucking cool. Because he said, hey, I have two humans and they're both fighting me. And this is really nice because Zod used his arm to fight. And actually wins, but he has Griffith shows up. Now, ultimately speaking, this is a really good storytelling because Guts will be, Griffith will be there with his pendant, which is the bailiff. And we know that he has a bailiff because when he started the battle, he was holding the bailiff, right? So this is super cool. But then he realized that, hey, you see the bailiff called the Eye of the King, which possibly means that Zod is a demon because he's aware of what the bailiff is, and the bailiff is a tool of the devil. Now I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, I had a bad day today. I had a ton of fights, but I feel better because we talked about it, you know, and that really helps. See, we're fighting vampire, and this is what's killing us. Apologies. So yeah, the God Hand, and this is kind of insane because he had the Eye of the King, right? And then when we call it the God Hand. So, and here I presume that Zod is actually afraid of the God Hand, right? And they're after him. So there's a possibility that Zod is an escaped demon and the God Hand is looking for him. Possibility, because the Skull Knight is the same thing. I think. So then it's like, hey, death will pay you a visit. A death you can never escape, right? Now, and the enemy, that's what happens. And the enemy is much better. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you. Yeah. I'm gonna show you. Loco, maniac, sick bitch, psychopath. Now I'm gonna show you. Now I'm gonna show you. Loco, maniac. So yeah, so I'm gonna show you. We were not even close to the end of the gold stage. The golden hand. The golden age.
Spell known. How serious?
There you go. This is the episode that we are. He's fighting. And he noticed Zod. Look at how good this is. Got Zod. I love this. And we have it on we have the file. This is already a different version. Okay, it won't be long. There you go. It's different, but it's better in this one. My opinion.
I've seen this knowledge going before.
Run away.
What was that? Commander Griffith. Casca! All right, everyone.
I love Casca. Hell yeah, Casca, you're a gem.
Unfortunately, I doubt we will have another chance to fight. But I will leave you with this bit of advice. Or rather, I will foretell your doom.
Prophecy.
If you think this man your friend, then know this. When you regard one another as brother, and this man's ambition crumbles, it is your destiny to face your death. You cannot escape your fate.
But it was different. By the way, the Golden Age is 8 hours of manga, so yeah, it's huge. I don't know. Wow, beautiful nature corn, guys. I don't know if, look at this. I can't show you because It's but it's gorgeous. You know what? A bit. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. So I thought the anime was better. This is the 1997. This is the 1997 version, by the way, which is better than the first one because well the last one because the last one is very PG or very yeah, PG is a good word. So it's kind of cool because they rush in, Casca rush in like we saw in the thing, right? And they're rushing in. This is super cool because some people rush to Griffith, some people touch. Some people rush to Guts. Some people rush to Griffith. Casca is pissed at Guts because she said, "Hey, once again, you put him in danger. You put him in danger." And this is super sad because this revealed that if Guts were to die, Casca wouldn't care. But if Griffith dies, she would care. So this is super cool because the Ben of the Ox. So this is the next chapter. The Ben of the Ox because it did so well. Wait a second. There's no way. Are you kidding me? Wait a second. No way. No way. Give me a couple seconds, guys, please. Okay, so you see these are back to being big. Okay, so there's another one after that, which is much better than yesterday. Then they're back, right? Guts and Griffith are both super injured, and I love Guts' reaction here. Guts' reaction here is to train as much as possible. This is Griffith like, hey, we made it another day, let's chill, which is super good. So everybody is there, and every single noble are talking about them. How the band of Ak was the miraculous band that made it out alive. It's confirmed to be Zod, and the band of the Ak is one of the only like campaign that drove him back, which is normal because he's a fucking demon, right? So now people are worried because some of them are calling Griffith a commoner, and Griffith is made to be a count, which is one of the highest ranking you can get, right? And it's a military wise one of the highest. So they're this is super cool. This is super cool. Such a cool scene. Look at this. Such a cool scene. So because Griffith is so high, it's kind of nice. Now Guts, what he does is Guts, a guy is treating him like shit, right? He's being nice to him, but he's being like a dick, like a hypocrite, right? So then the guy is like, "Hey, use my sword. You're gonna face it." And Guts just look at him, and the guy he's sorry. So Guts goes to Casca, and he still feel bad because she told him I fought, and that means that he didn't care. She didn't care if he died. Now, ultimately, Guts will not be pissed off at Casca because he understands, but he will feel guilty about it. And this reaction, which is kind of super cool, is that he will train. Now, Guts is like, okay, you see the band of the Ark, and said, hey, where's Griffith? It's like, oh, he's with the noble. And Griffith is beautiful here. I gotta say, Griffith is beautiful here. And this is kind of cool because he wants to see Griffith, and then the guards are stopping him, and then the guard put his hand on him, and Griffith just tossed him aside. So he doesn't care how bad he's gonna be looking. This is so cool. This is so cool. Guts doesn't care about the rules, so he pushes guard aside, which is kind of something nice. Casca punch him, and it's like you're so stupid, dude. You're gonna make us look bad. You're gonna be making Griffith look bad, and Griffith, the way you act is the way Griffith is looked at. And the only one that defends him is Rickard. He's like I kind of know how Guts feel. Lately, Griffith has been hard to approach, I guess. It's like he's drifted away from swords, and Griffith is like, okay, well, I don't need them anymore. So this is kind of crazy because Griffith, the closer he is to his position, which is like a lord, the less he needs the band of Ark. And for them, they were all like disposable, right? He wants to keep Griffith, or he wants to keep Guts around, but that's because it's kind of complex. With Guts, he would have a whole army with him, right? But Guts, he possibly is in love with Guts because, you know. So yeah, and the crazy thing is Casca realized that, and she was like, you don't get to see him if I don't get to see him, right? So Griffith comes in, and Guts like, yo, where were you? Like, oh, you know, the noble, they want to pretend. It's like they're a pretentious bunch and I don't like them, which is still the military, the mercenary aspect of Griffith, but I have to, right? He's like, but oh well, it can be helped. It's absolutely necessary in order to gain status in his kingdom, right? So then it's kind of cool because Griffith and Guts talk about Nosferatu, right, and how it is. And this is super nice. This is super nice because Guts is like, hey, why did you save? Why did you try to save me? Like, do I need a reason? If I want to save you, I get to save you. If I want to put myself in harm's way for you, that's my choice. And look at it. So he asked, like, what do you think? What do you think it was? But if you look at it a different way, so Guts is like, holy shit, there's possibly demons out there, right? And Griffith's like, no, you don't understand. There's a possibility of how you're being, right? There's something. This is the proof that there's something huge beyond the human understanding of the world. Friends said, what are called God or something. Don't you mean? And Gus like, yeah, but if they're gods, there's devil. And he's like, Griffith goes in and said, hey, aren't they the same thing, right? This is super. So then Gus is like, yeah, the only reason we made it out alive because Griffith was out cold. It's like he saw the ballot and he left, right? And he said Zod knew about it. So if Zod is a devil, then this thing is a devil, right? And it's like Griffith's like, hey, I just got lucky. I have to thank the old chief that sold it to me, right? So there you go. Master of the Sword. And this is the one. Again, this is not the most interesting stuff. Because compared to yesterday was amazing. Today's a bit more chill. The thing with the oh shit. Whoa, dude. Whoa. Got a new high score, 4,000. We're almost beating tier 11 then, which is humongous. I'll be completely honest, okay? I'll be super honest. The golden age is great because the golden age, how it finished, it's amazing. The way it starts, it's amazing, but the whole middle is not great. Like Zod was the last thing that's great since till the ending. So Griffith tells Gus like, hey, I don't need a reason to help you. This is super important moment. You might just see goes to see if Griffith is doing well, and this is kind of cool because this is just to show you how much Griffith is respected. You see Guts, which is basically a strong soldier, who just kick two of his guard and he doesn't care about Guts. He's like, hey, Griffith, how are you? Right? Now, this is revealed, and this is super important because the king, he goes with dude, look at this. The king will get his daughter, and his daughter will fall in love with Griffith. And the truth is, Griffith could marry Charlotte, which is the name of the daughter. However, if Griffith is to be count, then it's such a thing would be something. And the truth is, if Griffith marries Charlotte, then he becomes king. And that's kind of the whole goal here. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get some. There you go. There you go. We got some more lights. Ah. Bit of rice. I don't know. You're getting dark soon. Or early. I haven't watched 25 ads for a mission. Can you believe that shit? Stupid. However, if it works, it works. Get a little bit of strength, por favor. So yeah, this could be the end game for Griffith. See, Griffith doesn't want much. He wants the world, but this is the closest. He's not dumb either way. Like, he wants to be the ruler of the world, but if he gets that, this is possibly the most he can do, and he understands that, right? So this is super cool because the king talks about, right? It was like, hey, a lot of people don't like how close you are to the crown. a lot of people, he's basically saying, like, instantly, Sir Griffith, the battlefield exploits of your band of Orc are always most impressive. It's like, hey, a lot of people don't like that you're a commoner and that you're in a castle, but I will say that you earn your place. So what we're seeing here is a value of politics. So ultimately speaking, back then it was a monarchy, right? The king, the queen, and you have the noble, blah 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 blah. It's not a democracy. Then you have capitalism, which is a system based on money. Communism, a system where everybody is the same. Socialism, which is everybody is the same, but depending on your tasks. So which would be the monarchy, then socialism. The king believes in militarism. The more you do, the more you're aware. The more useful you are, the more you should get, right? So it's like, hey, guess what? this is super good, right? And not only are you thinking that he doesn't care, it's like, we might need you. Look what it says. Sir, speaking of that way with a mere true commander, come there. There's no wrong in it. Is it true that there's a statement who do not statesmen, not think favorable of such people? They say that influence of those of common origin will reflect probably on army prestige. But prestige status and the likes do not win battles. Nor do they feed people. The people, these are troubled time. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Like, we tried your way. We tried with the noble. But hey, if we win a battle, we win a battle. Fuck it. So there you go. And this is super nice. Because this right now, and this is insane. Because in these chapters, we have the beginning of the end for Griffith. So we have a guy that's in there. So this is going to be a big spoiler. But fuck it. So the guy who was talking about that, right? He wanted the crown, right? And there was nothing, no one to oppose him. And this is the craziest thing. This guy also has white hair, but in the movie they're blonde. He is the commander of the White Dragon Army, which is a something similar to the band of Orc, but they're nobles, right? Now, ultimately speaking, he's a count, right? So the wedding to Charlotte was supposed to be his. But then Griffith comes in, he steals his place. First of all, there's a hunting party, and the hunting party is a political thing, but it's basically like a outing, and it says, hey, so it's basically, the hunting party is what? The hunting party is something we see in Game of Thrones. So it's the king that decided, hey, I want to go with you, and because I want to go with you, I'm able to do whatever I want, and this is showing that I believe in you. So then, for years and years, the White Dragon, which is the guy that's in charge of, was going there, but now they take Griffith with him. So Griffith steals the place at the hunting party, which is a public statement. He steals possibly Charlotte, which is the possibility of more. And then what else? Last one. It's crazy. It's insane. It is insane. Whether you touch the princess, the bastard. Please pardon my rudeness. This is super good because there's two ways. The guy is like, hey, so Charlotte falls and he picks her up, and Julius slaps Griffith's like, hey, you don't get to touch her. And Guts takes his sword, and Griffith's like, no, I'm so sorry, you're right, I shouldn't touch her. Which is good because this is the way to properly act. And this is funny because at the end, Guts is smiling because he won. So then there is the Count Julius, which is the guy, the bad guy, and he's like, hey, this guy might be at my place. And the first thing he hears, he's hearing maidservant said, he is going to be a count, he's going to be the new next ruler. Now, ultimately speaking, why is that so important? Because Julius, because he feels threatened, will try to kill Griffith. Because Julius will try to kill Griffith will tell Guts to kill Julius. Because Guts will get caught killing the kid of Julius. Griffith will be in charge. So Griffith is the leader he's a leader of it. And you know what's insane? You know what's fucking insane? I'm gonna tell you after. Guess I'm not gonna believe this shit. Berserk is phenomenal. So because he's doing that, he is perceived as a traitor. Because he's perceived as a traitor, he's getting flayed. He gets his muscle removed. He gets everything that get taken away. It becomes a skeleton, almost a skeleton, right? There's no more muscle to him. He kind of fights, right? And this is why he sacrifices blood and flesh to become the God Hand. So if this doesn't happen, does he become the God Hand? Possibly. But this is why it happens. This is crazy. Griffith goes so far. He wants to marry the daughter to get his status, but he's fucking with a king for money, which is insane. And there's another guy that goes in And this is insane because one of the guy, you see that Julius in trouble, right? And he provoke him. He's like, hey, you're right, you know. He's gonna be ending up the count, and you're gonna be brushed aside. And he's like, what the fuck did you say to me? Say, yeah, but you can send a straight arrow with poison, and you kill him, and you get taken care of your problem. And the guy what he's trying to do is trying to get in league with Julius, so when he has the most power, he is good. So this is very, 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 very important, because this is where the idea of killing Griffith starts, right? And the ending is basically God saying, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Griffith is doing. I don't know how this will end. I don't know what is the future, but I trust Griffith, and because I trust Griffith, we'll go along with what he says. Which is the end of the chapters. So basically, this is it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Holy shit, what a video. Most of them were small though, so yeah. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.